Welcome and thanks for downloading our video on pricing. Our goal here is to help you understand pricing based on your level of motivation and talk to you about the 3 methods that are available to you as a private seller in order to price your property. We want to price your property based on your motivation, whether it's time or money. So ask yourself this question. Ideally, when would you like to have the home sold and closed? Your answer to that and how often or how quickly homes sell in your local market will affect your price. We want to save 2 things by doing this. Lost buyers, which will save you some more money by netting you money at the end of the transaction, and also some headaches during negotiations by not being able to justify your price. The first step in understanding pricing is knowing what method an appraiser is going to use in order to price your property. The reason this is important is because chances are any buyer is going to be obtaining a loan or a mortgage when they purchase your property. So you need to know what method the appraiser is going to use and duplicate that method when pricing your home for sale. What you want to do is look for similar properties that have sold in the past 6 months within a 1-mile radius of your property. If there are no properties in that area, you expand first the radius and then the time. You can usually find this information on a geographical information site, a tax record site for your local area, or sometimes you can hire an appraiser to give you a market value appraisal on your property. Not only do we need to take into account how an appraiser does their job, but there's another effective method you can use to price your home. Number 1, and looking at all similar properties, you want to look at what properties similar to yours are currently on the market. That's your competition. If you want to beat the market, you want to be sure to price up underneath them so that they will go to that house and then look at yours as an option, see that it's lower priced, and be most likely to make an offer. You also want to look at what properties have failed to sell in the area. See if you can acquire the information on what properties have been on the market for 6 or 7 months, but the market has refused to purchase them. That's an example of a failure, and you want to be sure and avoid those similar mistakes. Last but not least, you want to look at properties that have actually sold in the past 2 to 3 months. Those are people that have had recent successes. Make sure they're similar to yours, and you might want to duplicate their efforts as far as price in order to duplicate their results as far as a sale. Your third option as far as determining price is getting the real estate public involved. You can go to a local firm in your area and ask them if they'll do a BPO or CMA, broker price opinion, or comparative market analysis for you. Many firms will provide this information for free, and it'll give you an idea as to what's been happening in your area over the past 5 or 6 months. If you take that one step further and ask that agent for all the active properties, all the sold properties, and all the properties that have expired or been withdrawn from the multiple listing service over the past 12 months, that will help you with a little bit more information and help you price your property more appropriately. Now that you understand the 3 different ways in which you can obtain information and determine the price your property is worth, whether it's utilizing an appraiser to give you a market value on your property, your own research to see what's been happening in the market in the past 6 to 12 months, or utilizing a real estate agent to get a broker price opinion or comparative market analysis, now you need to make sure that your price is in line with your motivation. Remember, there's 2 different types of motivation, time and money. If you have time as a motivation and you need to sell your property quicker than other properties in the area, you're going to want to aggressively price your property. Reason being, we've found that in the first 8 to 12 weeks you have the most activity on your property. Most sellers think they can price a little bit higher and leave room for negotiations, or price a little bit higher and adjust down if they don't have any activity. You waste those first couple weeks of activity if you do not price your property appropriately. Buyers may just pass it by and go on to another more aggressively priced property, or they may not come look at it at all whatsoever. In our experience, it's better for you to price your property aggressively to start off with and then just negotiate well with the buyer. Let's address the second motivation, which is money. Now obviously most sellers want to get the most amount of money out of their property. In our experience, what you need to do is make sure that that property is priced so that it will sell within the first 90 to 120 days on the market. The reason being, if you're on the market for much longer than 4, 5, 6 months, potential buyers start to ask the question, what is wrong with this property? They'll look at newer properties on the market first and come to your property last, which means you have less exposure, less chance for a sale, and less chance for a higher offer. If you put it on the market and price it in order to sell within the first 90 to 120 days, you take advantage of that excitement and that initial activity that comes with the property being on the market to start off with, and you have the best chance to get the highest price and the fastest sale that the market's willing to offer right then and there. So if you're just looking to test the market, in our experience, it's best if you wait till you're really ready to sell. You may be hurting yourself for a future sale. Regardless of your motivation, you need to understand the pricing grid. And the pricing grid just gives you an example of where you need to price your home based on market value for how quickly you'd like to sell it based on what other properties are selling for in your market. Let's say other properties in your market are selling at about 160 days on the market. You as a for sale by owner or private seller would like to sell your property in the next 90 to 120 days. So according to the pricing grid, we're going to want to put a 5 to 10% below market value price on your property. Now you're not paying a real estate commission, so you may have 5, 6, or 7% right there as far as equity is concerned. Utilize that to generate more interest in your property, more excitement in your property, and a higher offer, perhaps even a competing offer, even in this market. So just in review, now that you understand the process of pricing your property appropriately, and you understand the 3 different ways in which you can get information in order to price your property, you just need to make sure that your price is in alignment with your motivation. Thanks for downloading this video, and best of luck selling.